Good news for the staff of Bahamar. As a sign of an improving economy, they are set for a salary increase next month. And the Bahamas celebrates Earth Day with the rest of the world. Plus, let's go down to Exuma. The National Family Island Regatta is in session. Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina Dragovich. As an indication of the steady rebound of the country's economy, Bahamar Resort has sent a communication to staff advising of a 3 to 5% cost of living adjustment to their salaries. The communication, signed by company president Graham Davis, says over the past year, staff has really come together to deliver a world-class experience that is second to none. It says the resort has endured many obstacles posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, but continues to live its core values every day. The resort, which celebrates its 5th anniversary, has more than 5,000 associates, 3 hotel brands, a luxury casino, and a water park, Baja Bay. And although there are signs the economy is looking up, Bahamians will likely have to deal with rising inflation with the predicted surge in electricity rates due to climbing fuel prices. Berthany McDermott tells us more.
Well, we just get way caught up. We who have little children, don't mind me looking like this. I have little children. I just get way caught up and save. I get a budget.
Bahamians face rising prices. This resident says cutting back is the only way to combat this issue. His comments come as the IMF is predicting the highest price hike in decades of 7.3% this year. But this resident says with limited resources, budgeting differently may not help as much.
Salary is not going up. And as much as you budget in, it only a limit that it can. Your funds can go.
But what about local businesses? Cafe Johnny Canoe manager Theo Pacamena says they've seen items like eggs jump from $80 to $150 a case, which he says is hurting the company's bottom line. However, he, along with Pastry Haven owner Nason San, says at this point, the plan is to absorb the increased expenses at this time.
Yes, it's affected. Pricing has obviously been affected, and we haven't passed on any of it to our consumers. We're not planning to do that because we want to stay competitive.
It has affected our bottom line because now our profit has decreased because we have not increased the prices on our products as yet.
And to the possibility that power bills could be on the rise, one resident we spoke to is saying she's taking the necessary steps to be more conservative.
I trying to cut back on a lot of stuff. Energy lights and lights that would not cause the bill to go high. So that's what I'm doing.
On Wednesday, Works and Utilities Minister Alfred Sears said there is a possibility power bills could also be on the rise. And according to these businesses, that too will have serious repercussions. Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
In other news, 2 murders on New Providence just hours apart Thursday. Just after 5 p.m., police were called to Joe Farrington Road and Hart's Close. Police press liaison officer Superintendent Audley Peters says police met a man slumped between a forklift and a trailer with apparent gunshot wounds.
The information is that the male was on his forklift doing work when he was approached by a lone gunman who discharged several shots at him, fatally wounding him. We ask individuals in this community who may have seen what happened to contact their nearest police station and furnish us with that information.
Police say they did not suspect the homicide was connected to a shooting in Gamble Heights around noon on Thursday. Peters says in that incident, a man was shot after walking out of a store in the area. Police say we all have a role to play to prevent crime.
Any little piece of information would be of a benefit to us. Don't consider it meaningless. It may be a vehicle, it may be an individual, it may be individuals. And so whatever you think that is deemed worthy of note, you can contact our station. Individuals know someone, and human behavior tells us that when we have something that is of interest to us, we share that information with someone. That's human behavior. And so if you know someone that is in possession of a firearm, you are just as consciously or morally capable when an act is committed against somebody who used the firearm that you know the person was in possession of.
Well, sweet breezes move across the islands. Perfect regatta weather. Meteorologist Greg Thompson has the latest.
Thanks, Christina. Welcome everybody on this happy Friday evening. Partly cloudy skies once again outside our studios with breezy conditions. We have some showers and some isolated thunderstorms lurking around. Temperatures still in the mid-70s, 76 with an east-northeasterly wind flow at 20 miles per hour and gusting at times. Your field strike temperature very comfortable, 74 degrees. Satellite view, upper level disturbance had moved across the Bahamas yesterday to generate some showers and thunderstorms throughout the islands, the northwest Bahamas in particular, New Providence here. That has now moved towards the east, but we are getting some more showers and thunderstorms popping up along the eastern side of Eleuthera. That is translating towards the east, bringing some more showers and thunderstorms across the capital as well as the northwest Bahamas. But that high pressure remains in charge and will continue to generate some very windy conditions. That's your first look at weather. Your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come, Happy Earth Day. The Bahamas celebrates with the world, and the Bahamas is set to become the premier carbon credit merchant. Find out more when our news returns.
Got size at 6'5". Hi, this is Shamik.
Bahamians investing in our planet on Earth Day 2022. Earth Day has been celebrated since 1970, playing an important role in raising awareness on other environmental issues. Minister of the Environment Vaughn Miller leading a short ceremony at Botanical Gardens today.
Everything we have, the clothes we wear, the foods we eat, the technology to do what we're doing, everything came from the earth. What doesn't come from the earth comes from the ocean. And so it just makes good sense for us to take care of our planet.
Students from Eva Hilton Primary, Woodcock Primary, Yellow Elder Primary, T.A. Thompson Junior High, C.C. Sweeting Senior High, and C.R. Walker Senior High schools joined in on the celebrations. The Environment Minister says it's the children that he really needs to reach.
It's critically important that while all this talk is about us going green, 30-30, 30% renewables by the year 2030, if we do not inform and educate our population, to me, it doesn't even make sense. It'll be null and void. And so it's critically important that we inform, educate our people, take them with us so that they can be willing and active participants in this whole process.
And the Bahamas is hoping to lead the way in the growing carbon credit market. That's according to the Office of the Prime Minister's Special Advisor on Climate Change and the Environment, Rochelle Newbold. She says the new Climate Change and Carbon Market Initiatives bill will make the Bahamas a leader in the green economy.
What we need and what we're doing right now is trying to quantify how much of that CO2 is being taken out of the atmosphere by our resources. When a hurricane comes through and damages the Bahamas, we are suffering infrastructural loss, we are suffering environmental loss, and we would then need to understand, well, how is that tweaking the balance between who is putting stuff in the air and who is taking stuff out of the air? If we are doing a great job of taking stuff out of the air, we should be compensated for that. And that's what the climate credit regime is about.
Under the new bill tabled this week in Parliament, the Bahamas is looking to benefit from the trading of carbon credits. This can help protect mangroves, seagrass, forests, and coral reefs. Attorney General Ryan Pinder confirming offers to purchase carbon credits from the Bahamas. Newbold says that's why it's important to have legislation in place.
We are not offering a black market approach. We're not greenwashing. This isn't an environmental escape clause here so people can continue doing what they're doing in terms of emissions. No, this is all going to be based in science. It's all going to be verified on a global stage. We're not solely making this introduction. We will have an oversight regime, a verification regime that is outside this country, that's in a global space, that's going to be independent. And once we get the validation and the stamp of approval, then we will be in the best position to make an offering into the international market.
Well, despite government's ambition to become a carbon credit merchant, an environmental advocate is reminding Bahamians the exchange of carbon credits is less about money and more about the offsetting of carbon emissions. Shanique Smith is Deputy Director of the Nature Conservancy.
Carbon markets is not just about making money, because I know a lot of people are enamored and really get caught up in the dollar figures. Ultimately, the goal is to reduce anything that's driving climate change. So we are trying to, instead of releasing carbon dioxide and the other gases that are contributing to climate change, you're looking for all of the multiple ways you can actually reduce this, and a carbon market is just one tool to get at that.
Well, our news will be taking a deeper dive into carbon credits and carbon markets. Stay tuned to our news to learn more. When we get back from the break, our Bethany McDermott joins us with the latest from the National Family Island Regatta in Georgetown, Exuma, and Bahamar celebrates its 5th anniversary. Plus, Marcellus Hall takes us inside the locker room. The details when our news returns.
Got size at 6'5". Hi, this is Shanique.
This is our news. Welcome back. Hotels are booked on Exuma as Bahamians and locals check in for the first Family Island Regatta since the global pandemic. Our Bethany McDermott joins us live from the Regatta site with all the excitement. Bethany?
Christina, residents and guests all gathered here on the Regatta site from around 10 o'clock this morning, all in excitement for the much anticipated event. The energy is high in Exuma as locals and guests gather for the first regatta since the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite inclement weather on Thursday, vendors still weathered the storm, and according to Skyjuice King Neil Musgrove, it's been great so far and he's expecting things to get better in the coming days.
I'm feeling so magnificent. After 2 years, it's been so good. For this week, I was quite surprised to know that we've been going through the pandemic. People actually come out, they're loving themselves, they're spending, they're eating, they're drinking. And I was like, it's better than I really thought it would have been. And it's only day 2. Yesterday, I was like, wow, I actually ran out of some stuff. And I don't run out of stuff. So I think it's going to be good. A lot of people are so happy to get out after 2 years. Because, regatta's like homecoming. Meeting, greeting, getting to know people, meeting other people, and
We also met Kendall Ferguson of Sisal Patch. His stall specializes in barbecue grilled food, among other things. He shared a different experience. So far, things have been slow, but he's expecting things to pick up.
It hasn't been bad, but the crowd isn't what you would normally be used to, given the pandemic. No problem with that. So, but it's been pretty good.
Are you expecting things to pick up during the coming days?
By all means. I expect that tonight and tomorrow, then we should really feel the brunt or the weight of the regatta.
We also ran into a few tourists who shared their experiences at their first regatta.
I've had some fried lobster, I've had some cracked conch, we've had some coconut. I can't remember, it was almost like a praline. Had some local bread, everything, and all the food we've had has been fabulous. Put a few pounds on since I've been here, I believe. We've had a great time. The people here are so friendly, and we've had some fantastic food. We've been to some beautiful beaches, and
it's a fun atmosphere. Everybody seems to be having a good time. Everybody's enjoying themselves. Everybody's been just as friendly as they could be. It's really refreshing, and the nicest thing about it is there's no McDonald's or Kentucky Fried Chickens or all the stuff that we in America see up and down every street.
Today marks the 68th anniversary of the Exuma Regatta, which started in 1954. At that time, some 70 Bahamians took to the seas to race. More than 6 decades later, National Family Island Regatta Committee Chair Danny Strawn says 42 boats will participate in the races this year. Strawn reiterated that this regatta will do wonders for the island's economy.
This week in Exuma, millions of dollars will pass through this economy, and that consists of Bahamians coming in, also foreigners coming in from abroad, because this regatta also have a huge international following group, and also particularly the vendors who have not been able to take advantage of the opportunities they had this week to come out after 2 years hiatus, to come out here and really make some money and earn a living. So from the impact standpoint, it's huge and it's tremendous.
Now, Christina, we understand the Prime Minister and other senior government officials are set to arrive here later tonight, just in time for the cultural component that will get started any minute now. We'll have more for you in what happens tonight and tomorrow in Our News Weekend and on the Our News Bahamas Facebook and Instagram page. Christina?
Thanks, Berthany. We're looking forward to those highlights. In other news, Bahamar is celebrating its 5-year anniversary with a record-setting March and strong prospects for the future. Jared Higgs tells us more.
What stands out the most to me really is the accomplishment of hiring over 5,000 employees, associates here at Bahamar, and creating opportunities for Bahamian citizens, our associates, to grow and reach their full potential.
5 years after Bahamar officially opened amid controversy and following a protracted period of uncertainty, business has never been better, says Bahamar President Graham Davis.
We are seeing the best results that we've ever had since we've opened in the month of March, and certainly highest occupancy in April that we've had since we've opened as well.
The opening started with Grand Hyatt, followed a few months later by the SLS and later Rosewood. Other investments include the resort's $200 million water park. In an interview with the Nassau Guardian, Davis didn't dwell on the negativity surrounding the opening back in 2017, which came just under 3 weeks before a general election. The opening had been highly politicized, with then Free National Movement leader Dr. Hubert Minnis even warning Bahamians that the opening had been a fake one. 5 years on, Davis said the significant investments made by Hong Kong-based conglomerate Chow Tai Fook Enterprises Limited are paying off.
For us as an investment here in the Bahamas, for our ownership group, we are certainly very pleased with the progress we're making this year. Really one of the first years of really seeing the financial success start to turn. It has been a tremendous amount of investment.
Bahamar was the vision of former developer Sarkis's Marillion, who announced in 2015 that the mega resort had voluntarily filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the United States in order to finish construction and open the property. Davis credited Ismarillion's vision and said what happened was unfortunate, but the unfortunate opportunity was what came next.
It has been a tremendous amount of investment, well beyond the purchase price of the project, but those additional hundreds of millions of dollars that have been invested to add additional experiences to Bahamar through our $200 million Baja Bay water park, which we opened and continued to construct during the pandemic. For the over $80 million we've invested in paying our associates during the pandemic while we were closed, 510,000 COVID tests that we provided to our associates and to our guests to create the safest possible environment.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
Earlier this evening, our Marcellus Hall premiered a new episode of The Locker Room right here on RTV. He gives us the rundown tonight in sports.
Well, local rugby fans in for a treat as this weekend the Rans Sevens tournament will take place at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Now, the tournament will feature teams from all around the world, including, of course, the host squad, Bahamas. Josh Purcell, head coach of Team Bahamas, says fans should look out for an exciting time. He appeared on The Locker Room this afternoon.
It's a very fast-paced game.
Yes.
The games go quick. So for the spectators out there watching, okay, it's going to look a little bit frantic at times, but you'll see.
Open field. I'm looking for open field.
Oh, for sure, you know. So I'm a rugby purist. I like to see expansive open field rugby.
Yeah.
Well, if you missed tonight's episode of The Locker Room, catch the replay on Saturday at 12:30 and follow RTV Originals on Facebook. Still to come, Greg is back in the Weather Center with your weekend forecast, and Alive sponsors the Exuma Regatta. Stay with us.
Got size at 6'5". Hi, this is Shamik.
Welcome back to our news. We're looking for sunny and pleasant conditions this weekend. Greg is back in the Weather Center with a look ahead.
Thanks again, Christina. Welcome back, everybody, for our second look at weather. That slug of moisture that was moving across the northwest Bahamas yesterday, now moving over the Florida Keys. We do have some more moisture moving out of the Atlantic across the area, all courtesy of a very strong high-pressure system that's continuing to generate some hazardous beaching and boating for us. Those easterly winds bringing in that moisture, more showers and thunderstorms in the forecast across portions of the Bahamas and that upper level low, helping to trigger those showers and thunderstorms. Slow to move out, but we will continue to see one or two more of those showers moving in across the area, courtesy of the very stiff easterly wind. Boating forecasts for the northwest and central Bahamas tonight through tomorrow. We're asking you beachgoers to remain out of the waters. It's very rough out there, so northeast to east winds at 20 to 25 knots. Once again, advisory posted. Seas very rough, 5 to 9 feet. They will be higher in gusts, and of course, those winds will gust higher than 25 knots. Your low tide will be at 7:26 tonight. For the southeast Bahamas, a caution flag remains in place for you guys down there northeasterly winds, 15 to 20 knots. Your seas running 4 to 7 feet over the open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast over the next couple of days, that high pressure will remain in charge. Some more showers possibly into the forecast on Saturday, but those breezy conditions continuing into next week. Temperatures will remain comfortable, low 80s. Overnight low temperatures remain in the low 70s. That's a look at our weather. Back to you, Christina.
Well, even if you're not in Exuma this weekend, Alive CEO John Gomez says you shouldn't have to miss out on the regatta action. Alive is giving spectators and participants the power to stream all the festivities to family and friends. Alive is also a sponsor of the regatta.
We have the fastest network in the Bahamas, and this is something that has been not just being said by ourselves, but being said globally by one of the leaders in the industry who goes and measures and monitors what's happening on the networks. So we just got a recent award by Ookla, who determined that we have the fastest network here in the Bahamas. And so when customers and persons come here to the regatta, they can stream live to their family and friends who are not here physically at the event. And so we're proud to be able to provide that particular service for them.
Gomez says Alive was excited to be a part of the Exuma community, and the company has plans to support regattas on other islands too. Senior Director of Commercial, Amber Carey, says Alive also made a donation to the Youth Sailing Club on Exuma.
We've also given a donation to the Youth Sailing Club here in Exuma to continue on that tradition. We've also got a booth set up here with a lounge for our customers and, patrons to come and come over, listen to what we have for specials and deals.
Well, sounds like a good time. Thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Christina Dragovich. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Have a beautiful evening, Bahamas.